index as well as the auto index are holding on to good gains as we speak. So yes, not much of a directional move that you can see in the markets, Shrishti, today. Muted trade coming in for the benchmarks, and like you said, Nifty is still holding above the 18,100.
Well, yes, so that's all about what the markets are doing right now. But let's move forward. Just 2 trading days left for 2022, and all throughout the week we have been trying to get you the top picks for 2023. And for that, once again, we are being joined by our chartist Kunal Bothra, and we will be getting the 3rd pick from him for 2023. And on the fundamental side, we are being joined by Siddharth Sidhani, who is Senior Vice President at Anand Rathi Shares and Stockbrokers. A very good morning, gentlemen. Kunal, let me first come to you. Which one is the top pick for 2023?
Good morning, Srishti. So the pick which I would want to highlight would be from the PSU banking pack, and that's about Bank of Baroda. Now, I think we've discussed at length over the last many weeks and especially over the last many months that how the PSU banking rally is getting into a very strong momentum for itself. Bank of Baroda is what I believe is a combination of both quality, I would say a bit of high beta and a classic leader, from the entire PSU banking pack. It was also one of the first stocks to actually manage to break out and show that leadership quality in 2022 start. And that breakout, leadership managed to trickle into the other peers as well. So, expecting the same going forward for Bank of Baroda, targets of 215 for the next calendar year, stop loss at 166.
All right, so the next pick coming in, or today's pick coming in from Kunal for the year 2023 is Bank of Baroda. Remember, it was MCX and AB Capital over the last 2 days as well. Good morning to you, Kunal. Along with Kunal, we also have Siddharth Sidhani joining us on the show today. A very good morning to you, Siddharth. And before we move on to talk about which is your top pick in the year 2023, let's talk about what the markets are doing. Pre-muted trades coming in for the markets over the past few trading sessions. Over the last 2 weeks, at least this week, the markets are doing absolutely nothing. It's been on practically a holiday mode. But keeping that in mind, what should retail investors do to protect their wealth?
Good morning, Cheryl, and thank you for having me on the show. Well, Santa, along with the market participants, are on holidays. So that's what markets are showing. And I think it's a little muted, the sideways market after a small little correction, which we have seen. Well, in this situation, one has to accumulate good quality plays at this current situation because this is an opportunity where you are getting good stocks for 2023 from here on. And with this perspective, don't worry. This is a phase which comes and goes in the markets with volatility. I think this is the right phase to accumulate good quality plays.
All right, so that's the take coming in on markets. And Siddharth, 2022, if you look at the markets, at least we may end the year with a positive closing, but not with a big hurrah. But for 2023, which are your topics?
Well, Cheryl, for 2023, we are going with banks first, as Kunal also started with banks, and we would be starting with a private bank, that is ICICI Bank, with a target of 1094. A bank which has been really performing great. If I talk about numbers, NIMs grew by 26%, advances are up by 22%, profitability with 37% jump. So strong on the retail segment, and I think retail segment will keep growing for this company. NIMs are expected to grow further. Asset quality is quite stable. Overall, the results has been coming really very well. So ICICI Bank is my top bet, followed by the second company is Polycab. Polycab with a target of 3389, close to 3400. It's a great play in the wires and cable segment where they have a strong market share of 20% plus. FMEG, fast-moving electrical goods, has been doing good. Profits in terms of numbers has been really good. 35% jump. Margins were up. We expect the main trigger for Polycab is the management is expecting 20,000 crore revenue by FY26, which is currently at 12,000 crore. So that's the main trigger. We believe Polycab looks very good, interesting in the FMEG and wires and cable segment.
Those are the top picks by the experts. Bank of Baroda making it to the charts for Kunal. And on the fundamental side, the picks coming in from the likes of ICICI Bank, Polycab, as well as Siemens from Siddharth. But with this, it's time to slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. Right back. We'll be right back and taking up all your stock queries, so stay tuned.
powered by ArcelorMittal.
Short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do. We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do. We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do. We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now. And you know, this is the show where we take all of your stock-related queries and get them answered by our team of experts. So today we have Kunal Bothra as well as Siddharth Sadani joining us on the show. And let's kickstart with your queries then. And the first one that I have is coming in from Hemanta Datta. And Hemanta Datta has about 60 shares of NTPC at a price of around 177 rupees per share. Kunal, he wants to know whether it's the right time to average in the medium term for the next 1 year is what he's saying. And also he's asking whether he can remain invested in this particular counter and a target.
So can you let me know the cost price once again?
177 rupees.
Okay, so I would suggest to stay invested over here. Now, you know, the stock has gone through a bit of a I would say two-phased price action. Initially a rally or a start of an uptrend in the start of 2022. Somehow then the stock has gone to a consolidation. 175.80 approximately has been acting as a major resistance. But then remember that NTPC is a typically very low beta kind of a stock. Now a cost price is very, very close towards the current market price. The stock has this tendency of giving somewhere closer to 10 to 15% kind of an average return on a CAGR basis. So even if that's the case from current levels, you can expect 185, 190 approximately as a potential target range for NTPC. So I think this is something which you should definitely look to hold.
Okay, moving on to the next counter, the question that we have is from Rakesh and Siddharth. He is holding 5,000 shares of Nalco from a price of 47. He wants to know the long-term view in this particular counter, and recently we have seen all these metal counters shining quite brightly. What will be your long-term target in this one and the advice for him?
Well, Nalco has a good stock in the non-ferrous space, aluminum space, but I think Hindalco fits much better in terms of their balance sheet size, volumes, TCRC margins. So I think Hindalco is a better stock. I would suggest a switch from Nalco to Hindalco.
All right. So this one is coming in from Soumitra, and Soumitra is one of our avid viewers on YouTube, and this time he's telling me also that he's trying a different style of questioning the fundamental analyst because he wants to know about Divi's Laboratories, Siddharth. He wants a 1-year growth projection, that's the medium term, and a 3-year growth projection, which he, I believe, would be terming as a long term for his investment. Percentage wise would help, he's saying, what sort of projections you have, because it will help him in his asset allocation as well when it comes to Divi's Laboratories. So what's your take on this one? As far as I know, I think that Soumitra is already invested in Divi's Laboratories.
Well, absolutely. See, first of all, I don't have a 3-year projection as of now. I have a 1-year projection, where we comes at 3,800 for the target of Divi's Lab. Let's talk about the fundamentals. Is one of the biggest players in the API space in the markets today. India imports 80% of the APIs today from China and many other places. So China plus one strategy, which if the world adopts, I think Divi's Lab is one of the plays which will benefit the most. So Divi's Lab in the API play last quarter results were little tepid and weak. But however, having said that, I think this quarter results, we are expecting good results, and this company is a very good company with a 3-year perspective and a 1-year perspective. Please hold on with Divi's Lab with a long-term perspective.
Okay, moving on, the next question is from Niloy Kunal, and looks like he recently invested in 2 large cap names. One is M&M at a price of 1,287 and the other one is HDFC Bank at a price of 1,645. It's almost near to its current market price. He wants to know what should be the stop loss and the target price in both of these counters.
So for M&M, I would believe that you should look to hold on. In fact, for both of the stocks, large cap names, you should look to hold on to both of these counters. You know, there are times when the stocks get into a bit of a quiet kind of a phase after a very strong uptrend. And I think that's what M&M is actually going into. Same is the case with HDFC Bank, even if I could probably club HDFC Limited as well in that category. So I think both these stocks are attractive. Very difficult to give you a support and resistances, because my belief is that these stocks are gearing up for a much bigger breakout over the next 1 to 2 years. So if your time frame is medium to long term, and if you're okay with holding the stocks from that kind of a time frame, then I would suggest to continue to hold on.
Kunal, this one is for you, and this one is from Mr. Balan, and apologies Mr. Balan, not taking your query for a while now, but he wants to know about Kirloskar Ferrous and Kirloskar Industries, Kesoram Industries for the short term, Kunal. So it's Kirloskis Ferris and Kesoram Industries. He wants to buy these counters, and he also has L&T which he's looking to sell. So do you think the strategy makes sense, because he's making some profit in L&T, sell L&T and look to buy Kirloskis Ferris and Kesoram Industries, or either one of them?
See, I don't understand the reason why you would want to have that pair strategy or strategy where you want to book out your profits on L&T and look into buying these two names, because the chart patterns, the way the stock moves is completely different than what L&T does. L&T, the prominence of the stock is also very strong. We've seen L&T perform exceptionally well. Yes, it's a typically moderate to low beta kind of a stock, but then when this stock gets into a breakout mode, we've seen that the stock gets into a multi-month, multi-year uptrend as well. So I don't see any reason why you should be looking out to book your L&T, even if you're sitting in good profits. Out of the two names which you mentioned, I would probably prefer Kirloskar Ferris as a better bet. The stock is trading quite consistently above its key moving averages, taking support every now and then closer to its 50-day moving average as well. In fact, even the recent correction on Friday, where the stock ended, the correction halted exactly at the 50-day moving average. So that's a much better bet out of the two.
Okay, moving on to the next question. Siddharth, Tanmay has bought 200 shares of Sasta Sundar at a price of 440. This counter we don't discuss much often, but looking at the move in this particular counter, in 2021 saw a stellar move, but on a YTD basis now, the stock is already down 40%. I don't see any improvement in the financials, but do you track this one, and can you help him? How long should he hold to recover the losses? Any hopes on that?
Well, we don't track this company, but however, having said that, this is a pharmacy distribution business which they are into. I think Flipkart is a new investor which has come in. But I believe these businesses is more of a cash burn business where the sales is which is the most important. However, losses to make up is to switch and get into something plays like hospital businesses like Max Healthcare. I think this will try to recover your losses soon.
Siddharth, just a clarification on the previous query that was by Soumitra. So he was looking for a growth projection, as in the earnings growth projection, rather than a price target. Have you been able to pencil in anything for TVs by any chance?
Well, earning growth projections, we can expect around 15 to 16% CAGR growth projections on earnings for next 2 years on a CAGR basis. So earning-wise, growth-wise, this company is a fabulous company to be in.
Let me take the next query then. This one is coming from Santi. This one is also in the healthcare space, pharmaceutical space. It's for Ipca Laboratories. Wants to decide, wants expert view on fresh buy, that is accumulate this counter for medium to long term with a target expectation of 1,000 rupees per share. Do you think, Kunal, this one is achievable? 1,000 rupees per share makes sense to accumulate right now for Ipca?
Yeah, I think you can look to accumulate at current levels.
And what's your take on Ipca Laboratories on the fundamentals then, Siddharth?
Well, fundamentally, Ipca Lab is good, but I think better than that, I would suggest something API plays like Granules or Davies in the same space. So I'm not that gung-ho about Ipca. I think Granules and Davies are much better plays.
Okay, Siddharth, Bharat has a question. He wants to know the fundamental take on two counters, Genus Papers and Camlin Cocoa. What do you track these ones in? Because we have seen a stellar move in all of these paper stocks. So would you like to advise to betting on any of these counters?
None of them, because I'm not covering these companies, and none of them looks quite attractive in terms of earning projections and growths are concerned. In fact, I would suggest my top picks of 2023, that is ICICI Bank, Siemens and Polycab.
All right. The next one that I have is coming in from TP Vinod, I believe. No, it's from Vishal. And Vishal is asking about Borosil Renewables and Balaji Amines at current market price for the long term. He has both of these counters. So Borosil Renewables, he has a price from the price of around 643, and Balaji Amines from the price of around 3,424 rupees per share. Kunal, do you think it's a right time to add both of these counters with a long-term perspective?
Borosil Renewables, I think you can look to add, but Balaji Amines, I would not be too much enthused into buying the stock as of now. No major change in volumes. There is no panic selling which has happened to the stock price, even though the stock has been consistently falling over the last, I think, many months. So till the time we don't see any major pickup in volumes, it's going to be difficult to call in a major bottom for Balaji Mines. So I would probably keep this under a waited watch. But I think Borosil Renewables is something which I think because of the recent spurt in volumes or marginal rise in volumes, there is a case that the stock may have formed a short to medium term bottom. So that's a better buy.
Okay, the next question is for you, Kunal, and this one's coming from Siddharth, and he wants to know the technical advice on Affle India and CG Consumers. Both of these counters holding in green today, but is that expected to be seen in future as well?
Well, I would believe so, and I think both these stocks are attractive from a long-term play. So I think Affle as well as CG Consumer, these stocks have done reasonably well from their 2-year, 3 years lows, and I think there was a phase where these stocks, they were much talked about and touted as strong winners for the next many years. Even though these stocks have gone to a correction / consolidation in the last few months, but the chart patterns from the previous 2-3 year lows have been very attractive. So if you are in from long-term play, you should continue to hold on.
All right, Kunal, you know what? I will give you a break for a few minutes because after this question that I asked Siddharth, there are a couple of them only for you. They're only addressed to Kunal. So let me take this, a long-term query from KJ Singh on India Mart. 7,700 rupees per share is the buy price, Siddharth. He's bought this counter 2 years ago. Now he wants to know whether it makes sense to stay put with this counter, that is India Mart, for the longer term. Also, if you could share some price where he can average it out.
Well, I believe that one can come out of India Mart because the performance has not been coming. We've been covering this company, but we've not got that right perspective in terms of results and earnings are concerned. So I think you should come out in the same space in the platform business, new era, new age business. Affle India looks quite interesting to me. Today, the kind of mobile ad spends are coming. I think it's growing around 30% CAGR. So I am more a believer of something, the kind of business model Affle India has. So you can switch over from India Mart to Affle India.
Next question is from Chandrasekharan, and Siddharth, he recently he invested in Lemon Tree Hotels at a price of 85, but given the move after we saw some of the COVID news flow and all of these reopening counters once again moving downwards, what will be your take going ahead, and is that a hold for now or any advice on the average?
Definitely a hold for now. Lemon Tree, we have a target of 110 rupees with a 1 year perspective. It's a mid-size, biggest hotel chain today. Overall, if I talk about third biggest chain, good plans of expansion, 6,600 plus hotel coming up in Mumbai. Maybe in next 1 year, that will bring in strong revenue growth for them. So Lemon Tree, ARR's average room rates are improving, occupancy improving. So please hold on. Although because of this, again, the wave of COVID, which we've been hearing from China and again expected in India, this is giving little pressure on the company. Hold on with a target of 110.
Kunal, your time starts now, I should say that. TP Vinod has written to us. He's asking the best level to accumulate AMI Organics for the long term.
So I think current levels could be a good enough level where you can look to buy. It's just hugging around the 200-day moving average. Low beta stock, very less, I would not say extremely illiquid, but moderate to low liquidity for the stock price, and that would probably mean that the stock will just chug along the 200-day moving average. So 974, I think, is the current market price. You can look to buy at current levels.
Okay, let me take it from you, Kunal. The next one is from Sandeep Kumar. He wants to know the technical take on GE Power. How's the chart looking like? Is that a double bottom that has been formed, and what to expect going ahead?
Well, I would not suggest a buy. I think it's a stock which has clearly disappointed over the longer term time frame, even though it's trading at double bottom charts. But then you have to look at what the charts were and how the charts have shaped up over the last 12 months, 15 months. And I think at 139.40 approximately, it's already trading at a multi-year low. So no point of double guessing over here. I think you should avoid.
Okay, Siddharth, Mayank is asking a query specifically for you. He's holding about 2,000 shares of Federal Mogul at a price of around 300 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he can add some more of this Auto Ank for the next 2 years. How is the future for this one looking like?
It's quite promising. You can add up further on Federal Mogul with a long-term perspective. But with a caveat, please add up some of the more auto ancillary space in your portfolio, likes of Gabriel India. because Vande Bharat orders of Vande Bharat trains have come to Siemens, but the maximum of the shock absorbers will be supplied by Gabriel. So added with Federal Mogul, you can always add up Gabriel with a long-term perspective.
Okay, but with this, we'll take a pause here. We'll be going for a break, but we'll be right back and taking more of your stock queries, so stay tuned.
World. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong. We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong. We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now. In the last half an hour, the markets have done absolutely nothing. Nifty still trying to push itself in the green, and Bank Nifty holding a gains of around 80 odd points. But let's get back to taking off all your stock queries. And before coming to that, just a note to our viewers that we get around 4 to 5 stocks. You share it out of excitement, but in a limited time span, we can only take 2 to 3 counters. So keeping with this, let's move on to the next query that we have, and this one is for you, Siddharth. Siddharth. Sahil wants to know your take on Greenply and BPCL. He has already invested in this one, Greenply at a levels of 160 and BPCL at a price of 454. What will be your advice?
Well, hold on with both the companies. On the BPCL front, we have a Technofunda view also, and we are positive on that. Added to that, Greenply, again, home decor and other plays have been doing good. Volumes can come up in this quarters, especially on the second half. So Greenply and BPCL both are a hold from my end.
From Kaustubh, this one is for you, Kunal. Let me club actually two of our viewers' queries. They are two different stocks altogether, but hope you can answer them. One is from Kaustubh, but he wants a technical view on ICICI Lombard. He's saying the stock is consolidating in a narrow range above the 200 DMA on the daily charts. He wants to know, can it break above those levels, and what sort of a target can he look out for this one for the medium to long term? Because he believes ICICI Lombard has not performed in a long time for now. And the other query I want to take is from Venkatesan, and he's asking your view on Greaves Cotton.
So on ICICI Lombard, I think you should look to hold on. I think, as you rightly said, that the stock is forming a consolidation about 200 moving average. In technical terms, we call it as a bullish flag pattern for the charts. And then it's a matter of time that you have to be patient enough for the breakout to happen. So either you can buy into this consolidation if time constraint is not a constraint for you. And you can expect the breakout to happen anytime soon, and whenever that happens, the stock would probably catapult itself maybe another 10% higher from those breakout levels. So it's a stock which should be looked out for. Greaves Cotton, on the other hand, somehow I think the stock has disappointed. If I'm not wrong, it's already trading at a multi-month low for itself. The stock has seen a very sharp correction. No major pullback or reversal which has happened for Greaves Cotton, and as we typically look out for, the indicators are neither oversold, the volumes have neither gone into a panic mode. So I think in this scenario we can expect some more correction for Greaves Cotton.
Okay, moving on to the next query. Siddharth, Chitra has invested in Quest Corp at a price of 520, and what she's highlighting is that this counter is continuously falling. So she wants to know what is the long-term view in this particular counter, and for now, is that an advice coming into book losses, average out, hold? What will be your advice?
I think with a long-term perspective also, I think pain is still there in the stock. I would advise to book loss and come out, take an exit. Don't lose the opportunity with other companies. I think one should go with some stable companies or a mid-cap if you want to go with. Polycap can be a good option, alternative, where you can recover your losses. So as of now, book out and go into Polycap.
Just a kind note for all of our viewers. Yes, I am clubbing two queries together so that I can get most of your queries answered by Kunal today, because like I said, there are a lot of them pending for Kunal. So Kunal, this one also is coming your way. There are two queries. One, I think you should be able to answer because that was one of your top picks on Monday itself for the year 2023. That is MCX. Jay Krishnan has bought MCX at a level of 1,670 rupees per share. Wants to know at what price can average MCX for the medium term horizon. And the other one is coming from Manish Raju. He has BLS International, Macrotech and Rama Steel in his portfolios. Now he is making profits in these holdings. So he wants to know, should he continue holding to all three of them, or book out partial profits or add more for the next 6 months?
So I'll start with the second query. I think out of the names which you mentioned, BLS, Lodha, etc., I think I would suggest that you can book out profits from the other names, but Macrotech or Lodha Developers is something which I think you should continue to hold on. I'm bullish on the entire real estate pack, and I think the likes of Macrotech, Oberoi Realty as well as DLF, they look attractive to me on the longer term chart. So I would suggest to stay invested over here. Coming to the first query for MCX, now I think you've started off buying at the much higher end of the price range for MCX. The recent sell-off has been almost 10% for the stock from 1695. I think that was the high the stock had made on the cash levels, and the stock is now almost at 1550 levels. I would suggest that you can look to average at current levels, but then have a buy and dip strategy in case if the market also gets into a slight wobbly phase. Make use of that correction. But yes, I think MCX is something which I would continue to hold on for and recommend even from 2023 perspective.
Okay, moving on to the next query. Siddharth, Veni has bought two counters, NCC at a price of 90 rupees and BHEL at a price of 84. Sitting at a loss in both of these counters, but in the past 6 months, these counters have shown a stellar rally upwards. What will be your advice going ahead?
Well, with the second point of query, BHEL, again, it will take a good amount of time to go up because of the numbers and the balance sheet. Balance sheet is little weak. Sector is strong, but balance sheet is little weak. So BHEL will take a lot of time. So one can come out if they require to. But the first stock, NCC, is definitely very promising. Strong order book from here on. I think 4x is what the revenue confirmation which we were getting on the order book. Very strong company, NCC, with asset monetizations is coming up for them. They're trying to retire some kind of a debts also. So NCC with target of 102, please hold on with a 1 year perspective. It's a great promising infra play.
Geeta is writing to us from Dubai, wants to know about Maruti, Tata Motors, M&M or Eicher Motors for the next 9 to 12 months. Any two of them with an enterprise, if you can share.
Well, a very tough one because all of the stocks are poised at a completely different chart structure for themselves. Maruti exactly at 200 moving average, Tata Motors significantly below the 200 DMA, and M&M is significantly above the 200 moving average. So if I take 3 out of the 4 names which you mentioned, these charts are positioned in a very completely different kind of a fashion. But then we generally give more impetus and more prominence towards the leader stocks and the ones which continue to outperform. So I think if I have to pick and choose in terms of the rank and the price performance, I would go with M&M. Also look at it this way, that M&M has been a fairly resilient as well as a low to moderate beta stock. So as I said earlier, that in case if the market gets a bit more volatile, it's always better that you shift the beta of your portfolio and bring it lower so that you can absorb the major parts of market volatility. So I would prefer M&M in that regards.
Okay, the next question, Siddharth, is from Tapas Chandra, and he's holding Uno Minda near to its current market price levels. In the past 1 year, we have seen a stellar rally in all of these auto ancillaries, but can't say the same for Uno Minda. But going ahead in 2023, what should be the expectation?
Well, hold on with this auto ancillary Uno Minda. It's a promising play from here on. We can expect around 10 to 15% returns in next 1 year. It's a good play because it covers to most of the segment in the auto play, OEM play. So hold on with Uno Minda.
All right, Kunal, we already spoke about BHEL, I believe, with Siddharth a short while ago. Aditya wants to know your view on BHEL. His average price is 83.65 rupees per share. 973 shares is what he's purchased on BHEL. And the other one is from Maleshwar, wants to know, makes sense to enter Triveni turbines and CCL products at current price for the short term?
So again, I'll start off with the second part. CCL products, Triveni turbine, these stocks have been doing reasonably well. I would suggest that if you're trying to pick maybe one out of the two names, prefer CCL product because that stock has just recently managed to break out of a multi-week, multi-month consolidation. Triveni turbine, on the other hand, is going to a bit of a profit booking mode. So possibly there could be another bit of a bout of correction, and then you can probably look to consider the stock in case if it drops by say another 50 rupees to 70 odd rupees. On the other hand, BHEL, I'm extremely bullish on the stock from a longer term to medium to longer term kind of a play. Don't look at BHEL as a very short term play because the stock can give you very surprising kind of volatile moves, a 10%, 20% uptake, and then a sudden 10% downtick for the stock could be possible. But if you're in from a longer term play, then I think trying to buy BHEL at a 10% dip from the previous swing high is a very good strategy.
Okay, Kunal, the next one is for you. Rajendra is looking to buy Bajaj Twins at this point in time. What will be your advice? Because recently we have seen these counters under pressure.
So it's intriguing because out of the entire NBFC stroke HFC names, I think it's very intriguing that Bajaj Finance and Finserv have actually come back to their long-term averages. Now, many of the large cap names have this tendency of starting off the correction first and then ending of the correction much before the market does. So I think if that's the case, then possibly these stocks may have come back into a good support zone for themselves. But ideally, I think you should have a buy and dip strategy over here as well, because these stocks started a correction much before than the entire market. I think there could be possibility that some more legs of correction could be in place for these names. So buy and dip strategy, but yes, if you're a long-term player, then you should not miss out on these 10%, 15% correction for Bajaj Twins.
Right, Kunal, you can take that sip of water while I ask the next question to Siddharth then. And Siddharth, I found one query for you. It's all the short-term queries. I have this one coming from Abhishek Mehta. He wants an overview on KPR Mills. He's a long-term investor and he wants to know whether is it a good option to hold on to when it comes to the textile space. Do you think the KPR Mills stands out in the textile sector, or is it some other counter that he can look at?
So KPML is definitely very good to hold on with a long-term perspective. I think in the front end, on the brand side also, they've been doing good. They're generating good volumes. On the raw material side, they've been really rationalizing very well. So KPML is definitely a good play with a long-term perspective. But added to that, I am most confident on Aditya Birla Fashion and Arvind Fashion on this front, on the textile apparel space. So Aditya Birla Fashion followed by Arvind Fashion are the two top picks on the textile space.
Okay, so that's the view coming in on textile space. But with this, it's time to slip into a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And experts also, please hang on.
Start your trading day with non-stop.
Question that you're asking, Nikunjan, almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunjan. Almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees.
Welcome back to Buy Now, Sell Now, and let's keep it going with all your stock-related queries. And Siddharth, the next one we have is for you. Shekhar has bought TCS at a price of 3,244 rupees. He wants to know, going ahead, is that a hold coming in or sell at these levels?
Certainly a hold, because it's a large cap top leader in the IT tech space. I think a non-performance which we've been seen in the past, I think that will not be the future. I think December quarter is the quarter which we would be looking at. Added to that, January, what kind of a spends US companies will be getting, that is also one trigger which we will be seeing in the technology space. So definitely hold on with TCS. If you want to average, you can average it out also.
The next one that I have from Indumati, and technical view on Grindwell Norton. Kunal believes that it's not bounced back from its 200 DMA. So what's the view from the short to medium term? Hold or add more? And the next one is coming in from Mr. Dasaradi, and he wants to know about SCI, Shipping Corporation of India, 200 shares, price of 86 rupees per share. What should he do? He's a long-term investor.
So Grindwell, I think you can wait for maybe another 100 rupees odd on the downside. 1700 or below could be a good starting point. The indicators are just nearing the oversold territory for Grindwell, even though the volumes have started to spike up earlier. But then I believe the combination happens where the volumes spike up and the indicators enter into an oversold territory. That's a classical point where you can look to go for a contra buy. For Shipping Corporation of India, I think SCI, the stock has already perched closer to its previous major highs. I think the stock had fallen last week from 150 to 125, so that was almost a 15% plus correction for Shipping Corporation, but the stock has managed to make a comeback from 125 now back above that 140 mark, which means that the stock established a support of 125 plus for itself. So you can look to buy at current levels, but then add in case if the stock retests the previous lows of 125.
Okay, the next query is on a pharma counter. Siddharth, Sambi Reddy has bought 100 shares of Biocon at a price of 325. He wants to know, is there an advice to average out at these levels, or is that an exit for now? And if he is holding on to these levels, what could be the probable targets for the next 1 year?
Well, I believe ideally one should exit the company because of a reason that numbers are not coming by, results are a little weak. And I don't see on the biosimilar side a lot of launches coming soon from Biocon. So I would advise to exit Biocon. If you want to be in the same space, granules and EVs can be one of the good plays.
A query coming in from, two queries coming in from similar space. One is Mohit Sharma. Kunal wants to know whether to buy Tata Power at current levels. And the next query is coming in from one of our viewers on PFC actually. And I think I have lost that query with the plethora of queries that I have. So the next one that I had is on PFC. So yeah, PFC. Couple has 700 shares. PFC average price 122. What's your take?
So bullish on both of the stocks, Tata Power as well as PFC, but the strategy has to be a bit different for both of these counters. I think Tata Power at current levels of 200, 209 is at a very attractive multi-month, multi-year level. It's time and again established a major support at this 200 mark, at least over the last 1 year of this consolidation. So that makes the risk reward a lot more attractive. For PFC, I think you should need to look for a strategy of buy on dips. So I'm again very bullish on PFC as well as REC from a medium to longer term play. The recent recovery these stocks have shown, if that's something to go by, then we can expect a much stronger up move going into 2023 for these names. But then these stocks are also very high beta in nature, so they would give you those odd 5%, 10% quick kind of a correction. So try and take advantage of that correction. But yes, buy on dips is what I would advise for PFC as well.
Okay, so the next question is from Akshay, and he's looking to invest in small cap names, and the two names that he has in mind is TCPL Packaging and Goldium International. Please advise what would be the better choice for 2 years time frame.
Well, none of them, because we are not that positive on both the companies. In fact, in the small cap arena, if somebody is looking for investments, I think Syrma SGS technology is looking very good in the electronics slash Atmanirbhar Make in India concept. I think Syrma can be looked at in the small cap arena.
Let's kickstart with the rapid fire then. And the first question is coming your way, Kunal. This one is coming from Jignesh. PNG Health bought at 5,700 rupees per share. What to do, average or wait?
You can continue to hold on.
Okay, Siddharth Bhaskar has bought Omix Auto at a price of 85, 30% loss for now. What should be the advice?
Exit and switch to Uno Minda.
Okay, Aman wants to know about Godrej Properties, Kunal. Average price is 1,445 rupees per share. What should he do? Continue to hold or book loss?
Hold on, possibly average closer to that 1180 mark for Godrej Properties.
Okay, Siddharth, Shreya has bought Indus Stars at a price of 235, currently at a loss. Is that a hold or exit?
It's an exit, switch to Bharti Airtel.
Okay, Kunal, Vimla George has Fact bought at around 55 rupees per share. Book profits or wait for some more profits?
Yeah, I think you can continue to hold on partial profits, but then 50% profits is what you have to book. Hold on to the remaining.
Okay, Siddharth, Abhi is holding to invest in sugar stocks. Triveni Engineering, Balrampur Chini, EID Parry are the names he has in mind. Any of them you would like to pick up?
In terms of balance sheet and size, Balrampur Chini is good.
Okay, Ankur has Delivery bought at around average price of 330 rupees per share, 200 shares. Can you continue to hold on to this for the next 3 to 6 months, Kunal?
Well, I would suggest not. I think you should look to exit.
Okay, Siddharth Harshadat bought IRCTC at a price of 890. What will be the advice?
I think better is to switch and exit the counter.
Okay, Seema has DCB Bank 1000 shares bought at 121 rupees per share. Should hold or sell? What's the view, Kunal, for the medium term?
Definitely look to hold.
Okay, Siddharth, Jyoti Das had bought Jamuna Auto at a price of 110. Wants to know the short to medium term target.
Well, we do not have a short to medium term target, but with a long term perspective, it's a hold Jamuna.
Okay, Raki has Varun Beverages, Kunal should hold or book profits purchase at 1,262 rupees per share.
Book profits.
Okay, Siddharth, Padmasiv Rao is looking to invest in Chennai Petro at the present price. What will be your advice?
One can invest and hold on with 3 to 6 months perspective.
All right, this one is coming in from SA, has Aircon 2,000 shares, 48 rupees per share, 1 month target, Kunal.
Stock is already up some 9.5-10% today. Expect a target closer to 65-66.
Okay, but with this, we are out of time in this rapid fire session, and it's a time to wrap this edition of Buy Now, Sell Now. Thank you so much, Kunal and Siddharth, for joining us today on ET Now and helping all our viewers with their stock-related queries. But with this, it's a goodbye from me, Cheryl, and the entire team who put this show together. Thank you so much for tuning in, but don't go anywhere. Markets at noon will be taking the action hit.
आग को फैलने से रोकना.
Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do.
We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you're asking, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees.